I'm making this video because it isn't very often that I read a dense philosophical work and feel like I've grasped it immediately. In this case, after rereading Friedrich Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra, I feel that I understand one of his most difficult concepts, quote-unquote, eternal recurrence. I want to share some insights into the idea, but I won't attempt to summarize Nietzsche's idea for fear of misrepresenting it. Interested viewers should read Thus Spoke Zarathustra Part 3 on the Vision and Riddle, Section 2, particularly paragraphs 6 and 7 in Walter Kaufmann's translation. So, what is meant by eternal recurrence? Well, assume that the universe is infinite. The space-time continuum tells us that time has no beginning or end, nor can it be divided, as Henri Bergson demonstrated. That means that everything that can happen has already happened and not happened, since negation is merely one expression of infinite variation and possibility. This much, I think, is a reasonable interpretation of Nietzsche's theory. But to expand on this observation, if this is true, it is reassuring because it suggests that when death occurs, our life recurs, not in reincarnation, and even less as a transcendent soul, but rather in the sense of infinite variation, which includes life as we have lived it, which will always repeat. Of course, this prospect is also frightening because it suggests we are trapped in a single perception that will always be true, will always recur, while it is simultaneously negated by alternatives. It's a lot to wrap your head around, but it does make a kind of sense. Any and all of us do and do not exist, live and die, prosper and fail, constantly, repeatedly, but in ignorance of the alternatives. In other words, this reality is the only reality we can know, but it is, in fact, just one of countless others. At the risk of banal metaphor, it's a little like a video. If we could go through life recording every moment, die, then play it back over and over again, it would be similar to this notion. And like a video, it would remain unaltered, exactly the same, frame by frame. Meanwhile, other versions of that video, some similar, some radically different, some in which we do not even exist, also are out there, also playing repeatedly ad infinitum, and also always exactly the same each time. Does it matter? In practical terms, no, because even if true, we can only live the scenario in which we are trapped. If we could step out of that scenario, doing so would be just a variation in which we are cognizant of a reality that in another scenario we never confront. It is both completely deterministic and completely free because each scenario is preordained but infinite in potential variety. Granted, this theory could decline into sheer nonsense and gobbledygook. It offers an anything-goes kind of relativism that is untenable as a means of living. Certainly, as I think Nietzsche would agree, it offers no structuring principle for behavior. In fact, that's exactly what he would have liked about it. Which is to say that even if you accept it, it cannot offer a very helpful understanding of daily experience. For if anything is possible, nothing is possible. Nietzsche overcomes this paradox literally through overcoming morality to become the Übermensch, which, of course, for all his protestations to the contrary, does introduce amorality, radically different in content to be sure, but still a set of values to guide experience. We are inevitably left alone, whether we like it or not.